fruit trees are looking great. They don't always look this good. The winds have been moving them around. I'll have to prop that one up like I propped this one up. We do get the winds here. It's our redbud. We've got our onions and our potatoes, and they're both kicking butt. We just planted peppers. We're trying the plastic this year just to help out on the weeds, because you can see with all these, remember I had all those branches here, so it is very fertile. The weeds have never looked more green. But and my tiller's down, so I can't till. So we'll have to just kind of weed as we go here. But you know, it's good to have the ground covered, so that's nice. We got our tomatoes and zooks, our first crop of zooks. They're looking a little tough. I might have some, you know, a little hot area there in the garden where they're a little yellow, but hopefully they'll come through. Of course, where it's kind of getting yellow right in here, that's where I planted the most of them. Like it always never fails. Michelle's flower garden's looking good. Got our dappled willow and curly willow, and our yucca, and a lot of daisies, and I can't remember. Can't remember what these are called, but they are sure pretty. Off that, I think these are forget-me-nots. They're pretty too. Just a little tiny burst of color, but kind of neat. Here's our red. Oh shit! Now this isn't good. This was doing really well. Kind of has a similar. Ooh, that's not good. That's my redbud. It's a little harlequin redbud, I think. And I don't know. Maybe we did get a little bit of frost. I don't know. This is the only other one that has this. I mean, last year we got some of our stuff sprayed, but that was by an idiot. That wasn't natural. So I'm a little worried about that tree. That's too bad. It was coming back really good. But maybe we got some, you know, patches of frost. I'm not sure. But anyway, look at our willows. I cut them this year. We got a really nice harvest of willow. Of course, I don't really have a place to store it, so I was storing it outside, so I don't know if it's all ruined, but we'll try to make some baskets this year. But this was cut in the spring and it's already over my head. And it's nice because it's beautiful, because it gives us some privacy for our gardens. But now look at this. Maybe we did get some frost, because look, this red bud, the very top of the tree is all burnt. This doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look too good either, if you look at that. So I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we don't have those idiots back spraying our crap. But our willow's doing great. It's over my head already, which isn't saying much, but here's our magnolia. Poor magnolia. We had it all trimmed back, and the magnolia's getting shaded out again now because of the willow. But the magnolia is just for decoration. It's not for or it's not as useful as our willow. But the willow's looking great. There's about 4 or 5 different varieties in there. some do really well and some not so much. Like this one, you know, it's a well-established willow, but it just gave up the ghost. Look at that. I hope we're not getting, I hope somebody's not coming along spraying stuff again. But it just grows back when we plant more. We laugh at their folly. Nice red bud, another red bud. We like our red buds. Really nice big red bud. This one's funny. I had cut this earlier because there was two that were put together, but I cut a little bit too far and it made this second limb you know, I cut through, you can see right here, cut through to there. I didn't notice it, so when the wind came it just broke and came over and I had to cut it off again. But I probably should have just cut them both, but I didn't know that these would come back. But they're suckering back, or you know, coppicing back, pollarding back, so life is good there. Here's our curly willows. We have like 3 different types of curly willows. Well, 4 actually. 3 down here though. We have a red curly willow that we really like too. And you've seen some of these growing down by the creek in that other video. Here's our golden. This one's just beautiful, but it doesn't get very tall. It just kind of goes all over. Goes crazy. More. I kind of like these curly willows because they're straighter or more upright, but yet they still have that little curl to them. So like if you're doing arrangements, or we use them a lot for like sticks in the garden and all over. These are our willows down by the road. I had cut them all, and now I can barely see the road, which is ideal. But they're doing really well. This is the one I left tall. I, you know, pollarded it way up here rather than down by like my waist, because we get some birds nesting sometimes in here. So I wanted to give them a spot. But it's kind of nice. Hopefully you can see it here. You can see where we pollarded them up high, like about waist high, so they're easier to harvest. You can see through on the bottom. Critters and stuff can get through, but on the top it's so thick you don't know what's living in there. But it's nice because when they can get the wind and stuff underneath them and through there, they get a whole lot. You know, they don't develop some of the diseases that you would normally get. But I got to clean out, but here's some more yucca. These are all yuccas that we had taken off of the other yuccas that we had done. So they had like little, you know, baby yuccas, and we planted them here. So that was cool. But this is our crazy rooster. That's Ric Flair right there. And Pretty Girl's right behind there. His hen, and I think another rooster. Here we got sweet potatoes, and I think we had put them on this black plastic for the first time, and oh, I think it burnt them. It was hot when we had put them in, but they're coming back. Sweet potatoes are pretty tough. They can look pretty rough, and they will come back gangbusters. So we're not too worried about them. But we got enough sweet potatoes because both us and the pigs love them. Some red clover and potatoes and more potatoes. They're blossoming. Potato bug. they're not doing too terrible. So I kind of leave them unless things get bad, and then I start squishing them. But here's more. We had coppiced these pretty low, and they're already taller than I am. But just beautiful. I think we only have like 3 or 4 different types of willow that are really suited for our area. Some more dappled willows and a pawpaw. And there's a whole bunch of willows and comfrey and sticks in here. But we'll sort that out this fall. But you see these are some of our harvest of the curly willows, and they're such a nice, right now we're kind of using them as a windbreak here, and cover for the willow that we got growing. But they're really a nice tool. Here we got, this is our hazels that got hit with herbicide or something last year. So I cut them to the ground thinking they were, they either had to survive or we'd have to replant them. And they are coming back gangbusters. So thanks a lot to Abel too. He had suggested that water might have been, because it's real wet here in the spring anyway. But we had a big water basin over here that we kept filling. Well, actually, it's down there now. You can see it right down here. And we were watering these. Well, now I don't touch them. I don't do anything for them, and they grow like crazy. So, and I think there's a couple of different varieties. I know there's 2 varieties there. There's one here, like one's an American, one's I can't remember. But, and then we have some, I believe those are hickory, shake bark hickories, like this guy. But that was kind of my seedling bed, and we just let them keep growing. That's my shake bark hickory. And my black locust we brought from Princeton, Minnesota. And then this is our windbreak, so we don't blow totally away in our garden. But this one looks okay, and that one looks okay. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's not nefarious. Hopefully it's just the weather, but not much we can do about it. I guess the gnashing of teeth is always encouraging, because you're doing God's work. But this will be this was a cover crop. Now it's weeds and cover crop. But that'll be where we put in our lettuce and our carrots and more zooks. We kind of succession plant our zooks because we feed our pigs with them so much. And this was supposed to be a hollyhock garden, and there's a couple of hollyhocks, even though they got the rust because it's so wet. But we've got some, what are they called? I want to call them columbines, but they're not columbines. Cosmos are coming, so that's nice. Got a couple of, we just harvested them today, but this is our asparagus bed. We got 3 asparagus beds, and they are rocking. Need weeding, but the nice thing is that you have all these weeds that go way down and grab all those nutrients, and then we just chop and drop them, and all the nutrients are on the top, ready for them to get crazy. In here I had some sweetgrass, and I thought it was all dead, but it's coming back a little bit, so I don't really want to cut too much. We got some chicory. It's all kinds of fun stuff. Got a really nice hollyhock coming there. That thing keeps getting nailed in our coop. We got 2 lazy roosters. Yeah, that's you. Other one over there. They're just nuts. Oh, that's my hen. I thought that was my rooster, but I think she's blind. So it's nice that the rooster's staying around her. Anyway. You sound an alarm.